It's Fuck Yeah Friday.
Fuck yeah!
Get ready for some wins.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Hi, Be It Babe. Happy Friday. We're here. It's the end of September. You made it. We are on the precipice of the last quarter, and that can make you freak out, feel a sense of urgency, feel like you're behind, and you're not. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're here listening to a Fuck Yeah Friday episode because you need some inspiration. You need to know that there's good things that are happening out there, and you could be sharing that. You can send your wins or your questions into the Be It Pod at beitpod.com/questions. There'll be a tab, put your questions in. We answer those on Thursdays, and a tab to put your wins in so we can share them here with everybody. And no win is too small to share. So, okay, this inspired me on the internet. It says, in Maori culture, autism is known as, I'm going to say it crazy, Taiki Wantango, meaning in their own time and space. In their own time and space. And this powerful word reflects a worldview that honors neurodiversity, seeing each person's way of being as valid, dignified, and deserving of respect. Rather than focus on deficits, Taiki Wantango, if you're a New Zealand person, if you can help me translate that, I'm happy to learn it, encourages inclusion, understanding, and the belief that everyone experiences life at their own pace and in their own unique way. Let's embrace perspectives rooted in respect, mana, inherent dignity, and wana on the Tonga relationships. I learned so many words there. I put the link in the show notes. You can read this for yourself, but this is really beautiful to me because I think there's a lot of talk about autism. There's a lot of more information that we have on it. There's a great podcast about autism and different people, like nonverbal autistic. And I just want to say, there are so many people who are saying things about people who are autistic in a way that makes it sound like we're focusing on what they can't do. And guess what I'm going to tell you right now? While I'm not autistic, there's a lot of things I can't do. And we don't have a name for that for me, right? There's not a name for that for you, for the things you can't do. And so what if we actually had names for things that celebrated the positives and what they can do? I think about how I name this podcast. I named this podcast Be It Till You See It. So it focuses on the positive things you could do. Not it's going to suck along the way, but keep going. I named Elevate, our program for teachers who are, diving into teaching at another level, because I want them to elevate their practice. That's how I choose things. Agency. I want to remind our agency members that they actually have agency to do the things that they want to do. So I share this with you always just to say, what if we focus on what makes us unique and celebrated that versus all the things that someone can't do, right? Now, take that for what you will, but I hope that inspires you. And also, I just saw this and I thought this is the most beautiful thing in the whole world, in their own space and time. We should all be allowed to be in our own space and time. Okay, so that is something that inspired me. There's a link in the show notes to go there and check it out. And we have Katie Donnelly. Okay, I've quietly slipped this onto the internet. I don't have the blog link up yet, and I still need a couple new pictures here. But there it is, LL says, who says done is better than perfect. The PilatesDoula.com. This was made with Nadine and Digital Brand Kit's website template, and I would recommend it. So Katie D, thank you for feeling that you can share with the Be It Pod your amazing win, which is done is better than perfect, in your website. Use a website template to get this done and put up there. And I know by the time that this is airing that it's even more done and even more in the process, but also watching you over these last several years take one step at a time towards who you want to help, and helping those people has been so beautiful. And you are a perfect example of we are not on a race. You can have the life you want to have and help the people you want to have without overworking. And you really are doing that with grace. And so the PilatesDoula.com, thank you so much. I'm so glad we got to share that with the world, and can't wait to see what you do next with it. Also, Nadine, she was on the Be It Pod We'll put her link to her show in the show notes. And she has, if you want to make a website, she does have a template. She's got some great stuff. Make sure that you use our fabulous links so that they know that you were sent by us and they give you the special treatment, of course. Okay, now a win of mine. So my win is since July, I haven't been home for more than 2 weeks at a time. Not at all. And that usually makes me feel like, oh my God, I have to cram all this stuff in. I have to do all these things that I think I've told you guys this. My sister and I have been planning over a year in advance on how to make sure we stay ahead of the game so that I'm not behind. And during those 2 weeks, I'm not actually cramming to get things in because I want to be sick. And so not only am I not behind on things, I'm actually ahead of everything. 2, I am spending this weekend with my best friend. I'm spending this weekend with her. And I am only home for 2 weeks, barely 2 weeks before we're off to Chicago and then off to Cambodia. We'll be gone for 21 days. And of course, I could have been like, no, there's not the right time. She also could have said it's not the right time. This is actually a joint win with us because she actually is leaving the same day I'm leaving for Chicago. She's leaving to visit family in Arkansas. Like, life is busy, but we are intentional about getting together almost every year. It kind of ends up being every other year, but we do something together. And so intentionality is important, and celebrating the win that we did it. We did the thing so we can make this happen. We could spend time with each other and just take some time to be with our friends. So if you say yes to a friend for coffee and you actually go do it, can you do me a favor, pat yourself on the back and celebrate that win that you did that? You have so many things you could be doing, but you spent time with your friend and had coffee. Those coffee dates add up. They're important. All right. So again, an episode to remind you that wins happen in all shapes and sizes and all kinds of different things can be a win. And my win is I'm having a great time with a girlfriend in my own hometown, during the busy chaos of our travels, because friendships are important and we need that. So anyways, if you need tips on how to plan ahead and how to do your schedule and how to do those things, I'm happy to answer them. Let me know. We can either bring guests on or we can make it a series, but just know that you can have a lot of what you want. We just have to actually make sure it fits in the schedule. And it's hard to cram things in, and you'll feel like you can't say yes to things if you're procrastinating all the time on yourself, right? So do the hard things earlier, and you can say yes to all the fun things. That's what I have to say. But we need an affirmation. All right, here we go. The affirmation is, I make time to experience grief and sadness when necessary. I make time to experience grief and sadness when necessary. I make time to experience grief and sadness when necessary. Love's feeling your feelings is so important. It really is. It really is. And then letting them go. All right. Now, until next time, be it till you see it.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Disenyo.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.